because in my career, I went through 3 distinctly and clearly different eras. In the 80s, good really was good enough. You could have a good team who could hire good people, do a good job, and still win races and world championships. But in the 90s, in our sport, technology suddenly crept in. Now we had reams of data. Now we had engineers trying to make sense of these reams of data. And not everybody could do it. But as we went into the 90s, because of the technology shift that came into our sport, there was a shift from good to great. It was only great teams that actually were successful on a sustained basis in our sport. Some of you may have read the book Good to Great by Jim Collins. But then when we crossed over into the 21st century, suddenly the regulations tightened down. We no longer had the freedoms to design and build whatever car or whatever engine we wanted. Now you had to work within a much more restrictive box. You had reams of data, and it was only a small number of teams of people who actually were able to use the data to their advantage and to raise their performance. That was when it took another shift. It went from good to great to extraordinary. What do you think extraordinary looks like? Where do you think extraordinary lives? I don't know where it lives in your everyday lives, but I'm going to give you a really good feel of where it exists and how it operates in our sport. This model only becomes effective when you surround it by a certain culture. It is not just a culture of winning, and it is not what you would call a culture of success. It is very much a culture of extraordinary. And there's that word again. Because I want you to start thinking about these extraordinary teams of people who get themselves on that podium, what it takes, what the frame of mind is to get you there. Here's an example how they think and operate. All of the people in these teams live convinced that they could be beaten tomorrow. It's in their DNA. They take it home at night with them. They go to bed at night with them. If we're not careful, if we're not aware with what's going on, if we're not on the balls of our feet, we could be beaten tomorrow. It haunts the extraordinary teams. Here's another piece of the culture of extraordinary. All of the team members in these teams understand that critical performance gains occur at the margins and at the boundaries of your people and equipment. Right out at the margins. That's where the critical performance gains are. I love this one. All of these team members, they disbelieve in the sustainability of their own performance. It doesn't matter if you won the race 2 weeks ago. You better disbelieve it's sustainable or you become vulnerable. Because we become most vulnerable at times of great success. All the people in these teams are individualistic in their thinking, but become team players in their actions. Can't you see these individualistic thinkers are the invaluable guys out there looking for new and better ways to do everything, to get that number up, and then become team players in their actions. All of the people in these extraordinary teams encourage innovation to create new sources of performance, to improve both the efficiency and effectiveness of the process. Not necessarily the product, the very process of how you go about your business will probably change at a faster clip than the product. I absolutely love this one. Because success for these extraordinary teams requires a portfolio of leaders, individuals throughout the organization who are willing and capable to accept responsibility of leadership regardless of the formal authority. You don't have to be told, this is your group over here, you manage them. You don't have to have a designation or a name tag.